Yeah, thanks, Kenny. Just haul it over to Moochie's place. Moochie can tinker with it. He can tinker with it and see what we can do. Just tow it the fuck away from here and just keep it on the down low. Keep it on the down low.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I just got back from the Wasteland. I had to spend the whole fucking night in the Wasteland. I mean, what's happening?
What's happening is that you're the only one that's come back. Everyone else is still out there somewhere, missing. And I've been up all night drinking, so I'm going to bed now. I'm going to fucking bed.
Well, I guess I'll go watch some TV. Cauldron is coming on. And, I don't know, I guess I'll watch that and learn some shit about shit. The universe and such.
People have questions. Me, more than anyone, I think, but I don't know. I'm tired. I don't feel very good.
This is a lovely night to stare at the moon, Tammy. I've met a lot of girls named Tammy lately, all claiming to be Serbian, and none of you speak a word of English. I find that highly suspicious. My name is Terry Finkelbutter, and I'm an agent of the CIA. I'm going to have to inspect you to see if you're a sex robot.
In 1959, the American CIA began investigating sex robots seemingly being imported from Serbia. But this was a full century before sex robots went into production on planet Earth. What was really going on? This is one of the mysteries we will be discussing on tonight's episode. I'm Mark Paulson. I'm your science friend.
In 1974, NASA aimed its brand new telescope at planet Mars, and what they saw was shocking. They saw pyramids and Roman ruins in the Cydonia region, log cabins, and evidence that, perhaps, the Soviets were already on the Red Planet. This upset President Cleveland Powder so badly that he ordered all records destroyed.
The American people can never know the truth about Mars. The Serbians are fucking with us. Commies and Russians meddling in everything. God damn it, we will feed bullshit to our citizens.
I'm Paul Markham, your wizard buddy. And that's just one of the mysteries we'll be looking at on tonight's episode.
Mars exists in a special quantum place in the universe, inside of its own special nexus. This is especially true of its moon Phobos, which is highly magnetized and collects all the information and data broadcast across the solar system. Mars is a truly special place indeed.
It's my anniversary today. I have been clean and off of fentanyl for 2 weeks, so I'm having a pool party with some friends. My friends are Martians, but Martians are Earthlings. In this way, my friends are Earthlings. It's a complicated story, and it will all make sense in the end.
I sure do love it when things make sense. Tweet. I can't wait to know more things that make sense. Tweet.
Did the Earthlings colonize Mars in the future? Or did they colonize Mars in the past? Well, as it turns out, both of these things are true. Present-day Martian society is a befuddling fucking smash-up of future human beings and ancient Romans. But how did ancient Romans get to Mars?
Beneath the universe as we understand it, there's an entire infrastructure of plumbing and service hallways, access corridors, put there by a race of beings long gone, ties everything together. And every once in a while, along comes a later civilization that figures out how to access it. It's a very, very interesting labyrinth underneath creation. The Romans discovered the Cuneiculei quite by accident and traveled to the Red Planet on foot in order to establish a colony where they could train their Celtic slaves to fight each other in gladiatorial combat. The Romans spent almost 600 years on Mars without even realizing they were on another planet. They thought perhaps they were in Atlantis or Afghanistan.
The Romans that stayed behind and bred and interbred and intermarried on planet Mars became what we now know, what we now call the Cydoneans. Their skin turned green, probably because of iron or lack of nutrition. And they were alone for many centuries, until those centuries passed, and then more humans arrived. But they were humans from a whole other place in history.
So, you're telling me that modern Cydonian people are descended from Romans and Frenchmen? This explains why they smell so bad.
Oh, that was funny. I kind of like it when birds say racist things. That makes me happy.
Roman Emperor Pismarchus Mandinkus closed the Cuneiculei forever in about the year 500 CE because he feared he had enraged some of the infernal gods.
Emory,
Well,
shut the fuck up out there.
Red Planet.
Shut the fuck up and stop out loud and stop on fucking TV. I'm trying to fucking sleep. Shut the fuck. Fucking go back. I gotta go back. I gotta go back to sleep. I gotta. Oh my god, oh god, oh crap. Oh, okay.
So the Romans got to Mars first. Well, that didn't matter. By the time of the 21st century, there were rumors that maybe the Soviets were there. Maybe Balkan countries were dicking around on Mars. Nobody was sure.
16 centuries after the Cuneiculei were closed, the humans of the future were living empty lives, addicted to a swollen udder of social media and lethargy. They began cloning themselves in order to not have to take part in life, and they built sex robots and hybrids to carry out life's more fundamental tasks. Sex robots were all the rage come 2060. You could marry them, converse with them, and they'd even cook you breakfast. Sometimes they'd break up with you.
I can't believe you're breaking up with me, Tammy. Why don't I come back tonight after I don't go to work? Because my clone is going to work. And we'll talk about it some more. I really want you in my life.
Life was garbage. Everybody was waiting around for the little telephone device to talk to them. And life was so disgusting and intolerable that the people of 2090 decided to leave Earth behind and go live on the Red Planet. Because maybe there was something there, and maybe there wasn't. Nobody gave a shit, because nobody wanted to be alive anyway.
So we know that ancient Europeans went to Mars. And we know that future Earthlings went to Mars. This does not quite explain the sex robot situation of 1959, nor the Russian presence of 1974. And it certainly doesn't explain the Tesla event of 1918.
Hey, the man on the TV. The two men on the TV. They say that you and me, like hybrids like you and me, and sex robots and everybody, they came from Earth. Like we're from Earth, but Earth in the future, and somehow, I don't know, somehow, it's in the future, but we're in I gotta go back to the TV and figure out how this ends.
I just, leave me the fuck alone. I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm trying to be asleep, man. Fuck off. Fuck.
Perhaps the hints can be found in current Martian society. We know there are 6 components. There are the colonists, who left Earth in 2090 but arrived on Mars in 1410. The immigrants, who began expatriating to Mars after 1974. The Cydonians, who are the descendants of the original Romans. The hybrids, who accompanied the 2090 colonists. The sex robots, who also came with the colonists, but who were reverse engineered by the Clone Corp Corporation in 1942 for direct sale to Mars. And the clones, who are detested by practically everyone. And then, outside of that, the aliens, from places other than Earth and Mars, but that's a whole other kin of weasels. Aliens, such as the Zeta Reticulans, rank even lower than clones.
Tommy Tesla was the Deputy Prime Minister of Serbia in 1918. By all accounts, he was a competent man. Then, his second cousin, a scientist named Nikola Tesla, told Tommy that he had been receiving radio communications from planet Mars, and those communications were being spoken in Russian, Serbian, Spanish, Latin, and English. Tommy Tesla could not wrap his mind around this. It drove him to madness, and in his madness, he diverted thousands of taxpayer dollars to create the Kosovo Agency for Alien Rendezvous Preparation, believing that some kind of flying saucer encounter was inevitable.
Okay, wait, what? Wait. So if Earth, like, what the fuck? If they went in 2090, how did they get the? I don't. 1940. Oh fuck! Why didn't they teach us this shit in school? What the fuck is going on? I shouldn't have smoked a joint. Before I watch this, because this is fucking with me now.
The colonists from 2090 departed Earth and accidentally traveled through what's now known as a Portager-Bumstern World Tube Bridge. But in navigating it poorly, they ended up emerging on the other side in the year 1410, meaning they had traveled backwards in time 700 years.
The Earthlings from the future were now commingling with the Cydonians from the past, and they spent 500 years trying to reopen communication with the Earth, which, well, is complicated.
TV show man says that not only are we from the Earth, but we're from the Earth in the future, but in the past. We went in the past from the future, and that's how we're here, but from the Earth. I don't... Okay, well, we'll talk about it in the morning, I guess. I guess you can sleep.
The timelines are complicated enough without mentioning that 1942 was the year that the Germans conducted some sort of simulation experiment which probably fractured reality into 3 different distinct timelines. Scientists and historians are still trying to piece together what happened. Whatever those dirty Nazis did, it created 3 different Earths on 3 different trajectories into the future, each distinct from one another. This phenomenon has come to be called the Mandela Effect, and until we know more about it, we can't even dramatize it.
There's only one Mars, as I already mentioned, due to that special nexus. However, there are 3 different Earths, and the communication from one side to the other side is confusing, since the Earthlings who departed Earth in 2090 are not from the same timeline as the Earthlings who went to Mars in 1974, nor are they on the same timeline as the present-day East Europeans who continue to upgrade and sell sex robots and clone parts to the Martians.
It all makes much more sense to me now. Everything before 198 BCE is prehistory, and everything after 2090 CE is post-history. The blue timeline is Earth and the red timeline is Mars. Earthlings first came to Mars through the Cuniculi in 198 BCE. But, before we can jump ahead to 2090 CE, we have to remember that the Mengele effect happened in 1942, resulting in 3 separate timelines for the Earth U-Q. And Earth U-12,735. And Earth UA. Just to keep it simple. The Romans closed the Cuniculi in 512 CE, leaving the Cydonians to fend for themselves, and the Earthlings left from Earth UA in 2090 but arrived on Mars in 1410. In 1747 they managed to reopen a Cuniculus to Serbia, for trading goods, and began radio communication with Tesla in the 20th century. After the Mengele effect of 1942, Russians from Earth UA went to Mars in 1974, and then the Martians used Russian spacecraft to visit Eastern Europe, but accidentally landed on Earth U-Q, because the universes are like a series of one-way doors, on the surface. The people of Earth U-12,735 were left bewildered by whatever was, or wasn't happening around them. This is very simple. It's a strange corkscrew of bad communication between 3 Earths and 1 Mars. It was in 1974 that the Martians realized their calendar was fucked, but that's a story for another time.
No, let's talk about it now. Let's talk about converting Martian years into Earth years in 3 different universes.
Oh, fuck this. Fuck it, fuck it, I gotta go to bed. Fuck this.